online and watching us, thank you for watching. And we bless you, and we hope you can come in person. You miss a little bit if you're not here in person. So we understand sometimes you can't be, but we see you here. All right. So we've been talking about the 4 agreements. Does anybody remember what they are? Number 1. Anybody? That's number 3. I don't remember. Yeah, that is number 2. Yes, that's number 2. Be impeccable with your word. I heard somebody say it. Was that you, Judy? Okay. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Assume nothing. And today, number 4 is always do your best. So I saw in a hotel in Bozeman, Montana, a little sign that said, "We're all doing our best," which is terrifying. I kind of agree. Sometimes it's like, ooh. So we're going to talk today about we're all doing our best. We're going to talk about when I don't think I did my best, and we're going to talk about when we don't think others did their best. So Don Miguel Ruiz wrote this book. Thank you. He's an amazing author. It's a really good book. So I've been quoting him a lot. And some other people too. So he says, keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is alive and changing all the time. So your best will sometimes be high quality, and in other times will be not as good. So when you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be different than when you're tired at night. Your best will be different when you're healthy as opposed to sick, or sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whether you're feeling wonderful and happy, or upset, angry, or jealous. Now, none of us ever get upset, angry, or jealous, do we? If you don't get any of those, raise your hand. My hand should be way down here then. I've heard that the Europeans use jealousy as a motivation to do better. They don't think of it as a bad thing. They think of it as a motivation to do better. Isn't that nice? It's a way to flip that switch. So your best, of course, will change over time. As you build the habit of the 4 agreements, your best will become better than it used to be. And isn't that our goal? Progress, not perfection. So we don't want to be better than somebody else, but be better than our old self. Ruiz says, it doesn't matter if you're sick or tired. If you always do your best, there's no way you can judge yourselves. Maybe. We think we manage anyway, right? Manage to judge ourselves anyway, even when we thought we did our best. Haley McGee wrote an article in Tiny Buddha. It's a blog. My favorite principle is this simple truth. Everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have. Adopting this belief has radically changed my relationship to myself and others. Doesn't it sound like that's something that would change you a little bit if you really thought everybody was doing their best? So from the same article, when we consider everything that affects our capacity to show up as we'd like to be, we realize how narrow-minded our self-talk is. So sometimes our self-talk's pretty demanding, like that perfection we were talking about. I was raised by a perfectionist, so it took me a long time to get past the fact that even when I make a mistake, I'm still worthy of love, right? It's a good thing to know, right? You're still worthy of love, even if you make a mistake. So Ruiz says the best way to say I love you, God, is to live your life doing your best. The best way to say thank you, God, is by letting go of the past and living in the present moment right here and now. It's kind of hard to do sometimes, isn't it? Live in the present moment. We're either thinking about the past, we're thinking about something we need to do, we're thinking about something somebody did to us, we're thinking about something we're going to do to somebody else. Hopefully a nice thing. Because we're learning to forgive and understand. Ruiz says, we don't need to know or prove anything, just to be. To take a risk and enjoy your life is all that matters. Doesn't that sound like fun? Say no when you want to say no. And say yes when you want to say yes. You have the right to be you. Does anybody feel like they don't have the right to be themselves? Like sometimes they feel like they have to be. I see a hand. I was raised that I couldn't be myself. Don't be yourself, Dennis. Don't be mad. Don't be angry. Don't be gay. Don't be anything other than a sweet little quiet young man. I could tell a joke every now and then. That was okay. But everything else was off limits. So it was really nice. It's really nice to be free, to just be myself. If you're doing your best, you'll feel good about yourself, even if you still make assumptions, still take things personally, and are still not impeccable with your word. So if we can get it into our souls that we're always doing our best, we won't judge ourselves, but instead we'll have compassion on ourselves. So that's what we're going to talk about next. When we don't think we're doing our best. So I think I missed that one. Oh, that's a good quote that I missed. Where is that quote? Oh, there it is. People are doing the best they can from their own level of consciousness. Yeah, I did miss that quote. It's a really good one. It's kind of a rephrase of the things we've been talking about. Ruiz says, so if you fail, okay, gosh, there we go. So if you fail, that says fall, this says fail. Do not judge. Do not give your judge the satisfaction of turning you into a victim. Sometimes we play that victim role really well because the victim didn't do anything wrong, right? If I was just a victim, the victim's the good guy. Sometimes it's nice to play the victim. It's not very helpful, though, in growing for the victim, blaming everybody else for everything. Ruiz says, if you break an agreement, begin again tomorrow and again the next day. It'll be difficult at first, but each day will become easier and easier. He goes on to say, don't be concerned about the future. Keep your attention on today and stay in the present moment. Just live one day at a time. So we've all heard that phrase, one day at a time. Famous AA phrase. Saw it on the bumper stickers a lot. So Liberty Addiction Recovery Centers describes one day at a time as focusing on staying sober for the current day rather than worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. We talked about that a minute ago. So if we can just be sober today, that's a little less pressure, right? That I have to be sober for all of eternity. It's a little daunting, right? It's a daunting task. All right. McGee from Tiny Buddha says, this used to be me, and it took me years to accept that even when I was in the thick of my eating disorders, I was doing the best that I could. From the outside, the solution seems simple. Put down the cake. Don't have that third helping. Now, I don't know anything about that. I would never have a third helping. I would never put down the cake. Laren's laughing because he knows I like to have third helpings, especially maybe of cake. But like Judge Judy used to say to people, you don't look like you missed too many meals. I'm pretty sure I don't look like I missed too many meals. But, McGee goes on, but for the folks with addiction issues, food, alcohol, sex, drugs, you name it, the anxiety or emptiness of not engaging with the addiction can be insurmountable. Anybody feel that? It's probably other things to be addicted to besides sex, drugs, and rock and roll. She says, resisting the impulse to fill an inner void requires extensive resources, including self-love, self-empowerment, and oftentimes a web of support from friends and family. Yeah, it's really nice to have a buddy if you're going through something like, say, you want to lose weight. It's good to have a buddy to commiserate with and to support each other. McGee goes on, by accepting that we're doing the best we can, we give ourselves the gift of self-acceptance and self-love. And only from this place can we make positive, sustainable changes to our actions or behaviors. Because if we're not loving ourselves when we make a mistake, what do? We beat ourselves up, and that's kind of counterproductive, right? If you're feeling bad about yourself, you're not in a place to feel empowered and know that you can do it. Right? You can do it. So I'll be proud of our baby steps. I have a friend who, after many, many years of being an alcoholic, went to AA. She's an atheist. So her God was joy. She said, joy is present everywhere. That can be my God. And I was having lunch with her one day. She says, you know what? I did it. I'm doing a good job. I'm going to pat myself on the back. She says, it's hard. And it is. I think we need to do that for ourselves. Just pat ourselves on the back for the little baby steps. Let's do that right now. Think of something that you've accomplished that you're kind of proud of, and just pat yourself on the back. I didn't see everyone pat themselves on the back. All right. So, when we didn't do our best, Tiny Buddha says it's worth noting our actions have consequences, and when we harm others, we should be held accountable. But simultaneously, we can acknowledge that we're doing the best we can, even when we fall short in others' eyes, right? Forgiving ourselves and others is an emotional experience that transcends logic or justice. We can make the conscious choice not to hold ourselves to a constant standard of absolute perfection. We've talked a lot about that today. It seems kind of daunting, right, to think you have to be perfect all the time. So give yourself a break. It's okay to make a mistake now and then. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over. So who's ready to let go of the standard of perfection? Anybody? Okay, the standard of perfection is a balloon you're holding in your hand. Let's just let that go and watch it float away. Bye. Doesn't that feel good? It's like, oh, okay. It's a lot less pressure. All right, so Magisa, let's see if I have the right slide this time. Yay! Believing that we're all doing the best we can opens our heart to kindness and compassion. It allows us to see one another as humans, flaws and all. Next time you feel frustrated with yourself, stop to consider that maybe, just maybe, you're doing the best that you can. So let's think of a time when we were disappointed with ourselves. That's pretty easy to do for me, probably for most of us. And now let's just tell ourselves we love ourselves. Let's use our name. I love you, Dennis. You can say I love you, Dennis, too, if you want, but I love you, state your name. I love you, Dennis. Doesn't that feel good? I think I've told you guys before that the first time I said that to myself was probably last year. I had a mentor therapist, I'll say therapist, I'm just going to go ahead and admit it. It's good stuff, therapy. But she's an older lady and pretty wise. She just taught me to stop and say, I love you, Dennis. And the first time I did that, where I just sat and thought, I love you, Dennis, and I said it out loud to myself, it was like, whoa. It felt really good, and it really was the first time I'd done it. I was like, wow, I need to do that more often. And so I do. I do it every day now because I make mistakes every day. I'm sure we all do, right? The older we get. At some point in my life, Saturn became the 6th planet in my mind. It's the 5th, right? My very excited mother just. It's the 6th. Okay, so it became the 5th in my mind. My daughter was like, no, Dad, it's the 6th. And I was like, no, it's the 5th. She's like, no, it's the 6th. And I had to look it up because I didn't believe her. So the older we get, those facts just, whoop, they go away. Filling ourselves up with new facts, and the old ones just slip out of our brain. There's no room. All right, so when we don't think others are doing their best, I'm not ready for the slide quite yet. So I had a student in a class I was teaching, and I made the statement of this theory that everyone's doing their best. And she got so mad. No, everyone is not doing their best. There are some people who are just mean. They just do mean things to hurt other people. And I thought about thinking, okay, I guess there are people like that. And then after the class, I went, but what if that's the best they can do? What if the best they can do is be mean to other people? Maybe they're a sociopath. There are sociopaths in the world. There are narcissists in the world. What if that's the best they can do? There are serial killers in the world. They have a compulsion to do this. They can't help themselves. What if that's the best they can do? Scary, but true probably, right? And that's kind of the whole premise of this talk, is that this is the best we can do. And so if that's the best other people can do, it may be scary, but it helps us to understand. So, McGee, we begin to understand that everyone comes from a wildly complex, diverse array of experiences, and comparisons among ourselves are useless. So I would never do that, okay? But that person did for their reasons. So it helps to understand. So I've said this one before, I'm going to say it again. Believing that we're all doing our best can open our hearts to kindness and compassion. It allows us to see one another as human, flaws and all. The next time you feel frustrated with yourself, stop to consider that maybe, just maybe, you're doing the best you can. And maybe, just maybe, so-and-so is doing the best they can, right? Probably. If they could do better, they would. Probably. McGee from Tiny Buddha says, it can be especially challenging to apply this principle to those who have wounded us most deeply. But oftentimes those are the folks most deserving of our compassion. Parents have a responsibility to their children, and parents who hurt, neglect, shame, or otherwise harm their children are not doing their jobs as parents. But sometimes our parents can't do their jobs well because they don't have the resources at their disposal. And even then, they're doing the best they can. More than likely, our parents didn't learn the necessary parenting skill from their own parents. Maybe they never got therapy to heal their old wounds, or never developed the coping skills necessary to handle intense emotions. The principle can be very challenging, yet very healing when applied to parents and other family members. Does anybody have parents they need to forgive that maybe weren't perfect? It's okay, you can raise your hand. Your parents will understand. They know they're not perfect. It was a good shift in my life when I was able to apologize to my kids for myself not being perfect. So I have a friend, I'll say friend, whose daughter cut her off because she was an abusive parent. And the mother said, well, I did my best. I was a single mother. What does she want? And I was like, that probably isn't the best way to heal that relationship. But maybe if you apologize with feeling, it might help. Maybe if you said something like, I'm sorry I hurt you. I was doing my best. I know that doesn't repair the damage, but please try to forgive me. It's probably a little better. So Andrea Russett, she's an internet personality. We have those now, internet personalities. You just never know what someone is dealing with behind closed doors. No matter how happy someone looks, how loud their laugh is, how big their smile is, there can still be a level of hurt that is indescribable. So be kind, even when others are not. Choose to be kind. That can be a difficult little challenge right there, when someone's being kind. Was that you, Jean? Yes, it was Jean. Jean said to me the other day, she said, when someone's, didn't your grandson, isn't that what you said, your grandson told you that? When someone's mean or having trouble being nice, she said, he asked him, are you having a bad day? Isn't that just a simple little thing to diffuse our own anger and maybe the other person's as well? Are you having a bad day? Sometimes we have bad days. All right. I got lost. Okay, there we are. Liv Wu, this is a different tiny Buddha writer. She's quoting Dr. Lee Gibson. Everyone is doing the best they can. When they can do better, they will. So Wu says, then it occurred to this is her talking, then it occurred to me that I was, in fact, doing my best at the very moment, but still felt sad, angry, not good enough in many areas of my life. Not because I wasn't trying, where am I, or didn't want to be better, but because I didn't always know the exact right things to say or do every step of the way. Anybody feel that? Like we just don't know what to do sometimes? So if others are going through similar struggles, bound by emotional pains and egotistical voices, then I can surely believe they are as helpless as I was in breaking free of those patterns until they are aware and have the right tools to do so. It's kind of nice to help give yourself a break, give other people a break. Wu goes on, life events are arbitrary, and most of us don't get to practice each scenario over and over again, like in Groundhog Day. We're often put into a position to respond to whatever is thrown at us unexpectedly. Does anybody else have that experience? Where you think you're doing good, you're having a great day, and all of a sudden somebody says something or something happens, and you're like, holy cow, didn't expect that. And then we're like, flight, fright, freeze. Is that it? Yeah. So Wu goes on, what I discovered was when I positioned myself at a place of compassion and objectivity, I became less reactive to others' reactions. The knowledge of everyone is doing the best they can, but can't help themselves, gave me a sense of power, a power to disengage from their personal struggles and maintain focus on my own powers. So we don't have the power to change anybody else, but what do we have the power to do? Change ourselves, change our reactions. Amen. So Brene Brown, everybody probably knows her. I missed a lot of slides today. I'm going to forgive myself. Brene Brown says, all I know is that my life is better when I assume that people are doing their best. It keeps me out of judgment and lets me focus on what is, not what should or could be. Isn't that nice to think that? Gosh. I don't have to think about what should or could be, what they should have done, should have, would have, could have done. But I can just focus on, they're doing their best. They had a bad day. And that's okay. So let's practice that. Let's close our eyes and think of a time when we were disappointed by somebody else, something that they did. And now let's just tell them, I understand you were doing your best. I love you. I forgive you. I'm going to open your eyes when you're ready. That feel good to anybody? Yeah. So let's remember, we're all doing our best. Remember what to do when we don't think we did our best. And let's remember what we do when we think others didn't do their best. I don't know if you guys know Bill Murray. Bill Murray said, whatever you do, always give 100%, unless you're giving blood. All right, let's have a song. This is Wild World by Drew Holcomb.
I don't know about you, but I like to tell the truth, but the truth seems to change every Tuesday. When I watch the news, man, it just gives me the blues. No one listens, just on a mission to hear their own voice. It's a wild world, we're all trying to find our place in it. It's a wild world and no one seems to understand it. It's a wild world, but there ain't no way I'm gonna quit it. Love is all we've got to give away. Some folks ain't got a dollar to their name, others got their own jet planes. We all got the same blood running through our veins. Whether or not you pray, black or white, straight or gay, you still deserve the love of your neighbor. It's a wild world, we're all trying to find our place in it. It's a wild world and no one seems to understand it. It's a wild world, but there ain't no way I'm gonna quit it. Love is all we've got to give away. Try a little tenderness, maybe some benefit of the doubt. Another person's point of view, try to listen, not to shout. Hold your opinions loosely, maybe you're not always right. Show a little mercy and hold on to love real tight. It's a wild world, we're all trying to find our place in it. It's a wild world and no one seems to understand it. It's a wild world, but there ain't no way I'm gonna quit it. Love is all we've got to give away. Love is all I've got to give away. Love is all we've got to give away.
Beautiful voice, beautiful words. It's a pretty nice guitar playing too. All right. Let's say this together. I am a beloved child of God, here to be an ambassador of good. Kind of fits well with the message today. All right, so it's time for our offering collection. So, as this says, this place exists because of generous hearts like yours. We're sustained solely by gifts. So we thank you very much for giving from your heart. Now, this is the one that does not go for some reason. It won't go for me. Let's go to the next slide, please. There we go. Let's say this together. I am a joyful sharer of my good. I remember that as I give, I receive, and that God is my source. When we know God is our source, we're not so afraid to give, are we? Here's the QR code if you want to give online, or you can go PayPal and pay to unityoftempe@gmail.com. Thank you so much. We are so thankful for the generous hearts in this congregation today that gave from their, whatever situation they're in, gave from their hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we bless this gift, these gifts to our use. We bless all the prayers in the prayer box. We see them surrounded by light and love. We are so thankful that we are that expression of God. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. So stay connected if you haven't signed up for emails. We have a sign-up sheet on our welcome table. We really only get one a week. for what the service is going to be. You may get one about the prayer call on Thursdays, which is probably our next slide. Nope. You are loved. Just remember you're loved and share the gift of community. Invite a friend. Join us next Sunday. Next Sunday, it'll be Reverend Dr. Linda Park Fuller. It's going to be an excellent message. Deep dive into oneness. All right. We're going to go to a song. I wrote the lyrics to this. James Dillard Freeman wrote the words. And I added some unitized words. So you should know it by the second time through, or if you already know it, please sing along. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence wherever I am. God is. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence wherever we are. God is, and all is well. Thank you. Thanks for singing along.